All right, let's get to it. Woo! We're a few minutes late, but we're more live than ever. And I'm so excited to share you what we've been working on so long. My name is Nadav Kies, and I'm the CEO of Riverside. This is Gideon, CTO of Riverside. And this is Steven, our video producer at Riverside. Today, we're going to be sharing you what we've been working on so long and so hard for such a long time. And although Riverside is not we are basically a really recording platform, but today we're launching something much broader than recording, and I'm excited to share with you what that is. But before we jump into that, let's just quickly talk a bit about the agenda of today. We have the vision, where we share a bit about how we've gotten to the place where we are now. We have customer calls. We're going to share a demo. I would say that's the most interesting part. And then we have a surprise guest with live call-ins. First and foremost, let's start a bit with the vision. Why did we create Riverside? Around 3 years ago, me and Gideon and Jonathan in the background sat together, and what do we really want to create? And Riverside, idea behind Riverside is that we want to create a place where we inspire the world of conversations and stories. And how do we do that? We want to make it so simple and easy for anyone to create that everyone can share their message. And what's really, really cool about Riverside is that Riverside is used by so many different types of users. We have the famous users, we have the smaller users that are very passionate about their project, and we empower all of them. But the thing is that up until now, we've really democratized recording. Everyone can look and sound professional with our recording, but there are still gaps needed to really ensure that not only in the recording process you look professional, but throughout the whole process and the end result looks professional. So we're going to talk more about that later. But before that, let's have a quick look on the people that are already using Riverside today. We have people like Tim Ferriss, Michelle Obama, Gary Vee, Tim Cook, Mark Zuckerberg, all using Riverside to record. But our mission is not necessarily to empower only these people. Our mission is really for the people that are sitting at home that are really passionate about their project, that don't have a really huge a budget to spend on Riverside and to look professional, or any hard skills to look professionals. We also want to empower those people to look professional. And even more so, we want those users to look as professional as the professionals, or maybe even more professional as the professionals. So more on that later. And so quick look, what is Riverside now? So right now, we were the first in the world to record locally 4K video in the browser. What does that mean? Basically, you can record 4K video in the browser and still look and sound professional, regardless of your internet connection. So that's what we already do today. We were the first in the world to do that. As you know, we have the separate tracks, so you can download everyone separately. This is something everyone is probably pretty familiar with Riverside, giving you full control. But today, there's more. If you want to see what we're launching today, go to our Twitter account. There's a video there that will already be giving away some of the details. But we'll also share that, of course, today. But basically, today we're launching the one place to record, edit, and share your conversations. What does that mean? Of course, you can already record, you can already edit, but editing was still pretty limited, and we're gonna get back to that in a bit. But before we're gonna show you what we've been working on, I want to say one thing. First and foremost, what we're improving today is our stability and reliability. We've made a huge improvement in our stability and in our syncing engine, and making sure that all your recordings are in sync. And all your recordings are really, really high quality, regardless of your internet connection. So I'm super pumped and excited about that. Less flashy, but even more important. So if you want to see what we're launching, here's the video, basically. Scan this and look at it and tell us what you think in the chat of YouTube. And we'll this already gives it basically a sneak peek. And in a bit, Steven is going to give us a live demo. Okay, here it is. Every recording from now on is automatically transcribed by default. So basically, we have state-of-the-art AI transcribing your recordings in the highest possible accuracy that we have seen across the web. And we support up to 100 languages available in your account as of today. And with the cool thing is that it doesn't stop here. We transcribe all your recordings, but it doesn't stop there. We also allow you to edit with those transcriptions. So basically, everyone knows how to already edit their video. Everyone already knows how to edit text. And we wanted to bring that same paradigm of text editing to video, empowering you to look and sound professional. And that's what we're going to launch today, basically. And before that, Gideon will share a bit with us about some nifty features that we built on top of the text-based editing. And after that, Steven will give us a live demo.
Yes, thank you, Nadav. I'm very excited to be here today and to celebrate this big launch with all of you creators. You've been creating awesome stuff, and we love building for you. So our editor is not just any editor. We made our editor specifically for the content recorded on Riverside. Because the truth is, high quality separate tracks are great and they give you tons of control, but they can also introduce a lot of complexity in the editing process. Simple edits might require a lot of time to realign the tracks and to really get to the end result you want. We've designed our editor specifically for the content recorded on Riverside. So we know we have these separate tracks that are high quality, and you want to edit those. And so we started the design process together with the awesome design, product, and engineering team, thinking, how can we make editing fun and give that control around these high quality tracks, but also and make it powerful. With this new version of Riverside, you're making advanced edits with simple clicks. So that simple moment with the joke nobody laughed about, just delete it. As easy as editing your notes. And every edit that you do, everything stays in sync. So that's really, really awesome. It will make your editing process much easier. The next thing which makes this whole editor also way more powerful is speaker detection. So as I said, because we're building this editor not just out of nowhere, we're building it on top of our recording engine. That means that we know exactly who spoke at what moment, and the input into our editor is very high. So if you just want to search for that moment where one of your guests or yourself said something really interesting or really potentially engaging and you want to share it with the world, you can easily search for that person and for what the specific thing they said and create a clip out of that. So that's a really easy way to create shareable moments from your content, from your videos already on Riverside. All of this is really a next step for Riverside, where we don't only give you control and high quality in the recording process, but also provide you an easy to use, powerful editor to create the content your audience and yourself will love. Now, I'm very excited to talk to some users, see how they've been using Riverside and what they've been creating, because these are the people we're building for every day, and we come to work for. Nadav, you're muted. We'll edit that out in the transcript editing.
Steven, you see the invite? Let's first do the demo then, and then afterwards we let the users speak to us. Okay, let's go for it.
Awesome. So yeah, I'm going to share the new editor. We'll do a live demo right here. Really exciting to be able to do this strictly text-based editing. Navigating to one of my studios, I'm going to click the View Recordings option. Now I'll go to one of our past episode recordings, and you'll see the transcript is already previewed here on the recordings page. If I click View Transcript, I'll actually be brought to the Riverside editor, and I'll see the full transcript separated by speaker and the timeline of the recording. I can browse the entire recording by scrolling the transcript here on the left-hand side, and I can even edit the podcast by selecting and deleting text here in the editor. Also, as I browse the transcript here on the left, whenever I click into the transcript, you'll see the playhead at the bottom jump in the timeline wherever this part of the recording is found. If I want to delete a line that someone spoke, I can actually just select the text here in the editor and hit delete on the keyboard or delete right here on the editor. You'll see those words are now crossed out, and down here in the timeline that it actually removed that section from the recording as well. If I made a mistake, I can always click revert. Now I can quickly edit the full episode of my podcast. I can even quickly create a minute-long clip. I'll drag the in and out points here in the timeline at the bottom. And as you can see, as I drag the in and out points, it's actually live updating the text there in the transcription to let me know where this clip will start. I can drag it precisely to the beginning of that section, drag the out point exactly where I want it, and now I can export a minute-long clip and I know exactly what is being said. You can also quickly find certain segments of your recording by using the search box. By clicking search here in the top right, I can search for a word like bookshelf, and not only will it highlight all the instances of that word appearing in the transcript, I can click the arrows to scroll down to different instances, and it even shows where that word was said down here in the timeline as well. Again, if I'd like to remove a segment of the recording, I can just highlight it and then click delete. When I'm ready to export the full-length episode or even a clip, I can export up to 4K video, normalize audio, and I'm ready to export. So really exciting. I know for me as a creator, I'm excited to edit this way and get clips from it. So really cool features. I'll throw it back to you, Nadav.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. So some people were wondering why are we not doing this on Riverside? Basically, we exceeded the maximum amount of viewers. So Riverside is definitely mostly optimized for recording, less for live streaming, especially live streaming on Riverside itself. Although we're using Riverside right now as well, by the way, to live stream to YouTube. But Riverside is really built for recording and live streaming to other places. So we exceeded the amount of viewers on Riverside. We didn't expect so much hype and anticipation. So that's basically answering that. And I suggest, Steven, let's speak to a user.
Yes,
I think
we
here we
have
go.
business pants.
Hello, everybody. How are you? My name's
Great.
Matt. I do a podcast called Business Pants. It's snarky business news. We make the news not suck so much. That's our goal. But yeah, we're pretty heavy users of Riverside. We do a daily podcast, usually 30, 45-minute to an hour long podcast a day, which takes a lot of scripting, a lot of effort,
Let's see.
a lot of pre-production work, and we do live sound effects and occasionally live stream as well. So we're heavy users of Riverside, and this stuff looks way easier for us in the post-production process.
We heard him. Yeah. Please. Sorry. What did you say?
No, so we're heavy users, and what these features look actually really great for us, particularly for leveraging the content that we already do, and both written, blog, other like using the transcripts, but also for the editing process for clipping, because we don't have a huge social media team. We do all that ourselves. We spend a lot more time on the production, and we actually sell analytics. So this is actually hugely useful for us.
Cool. So where can people find your show or your podcast?
So we're everywhere. If you search for Business Pants Podcast, it's everywhere. But we do a lot of we skewer a lot of business news, and we do a lot of governance sort of conversation of who runs companies, how they run them, mostly how they run them badly. So if you're looking for us, you search for Business Pants Podcast or Free Float Media. That's where you'll find us.
Cool. What has so far been the most advantageous, beneficial thing from Riverside for you?
I mean, for us, we do everything in. First of all, we're located in multiple locations, so Riverside made it simple for us to get everybody in one place recording separate audio tracks. But we also, I'm old school audio, so like I would set up microphones and record separate tracks using all of like the mixing boards and all that kind of stuff. Now we can actually do all the sound effects, all the transition effects, all the opening music. We do it all live, and we do it all through Riverside. And it means that when we're done, we can simply do post-production on the audio files where we master the audio tracks and just hit export, because all the soundtracks are all there. The audio quality is great. And we can do everything really, really quickly. And when we live stream, we can use OBS combined with Riverside, or we can now live stream directly out of Riverside. So it's streamlined the process so that the pre-production work is where we spend the time, the content, and the production work and the post-production now takes, a tenth of the time that it used to take.
Wow, that's a great. That's just a great. What's it called? A great person to put on a podcast on like this live show, like an endorsement. That's the word. It's a great endorsement. Yeah.
Honestly, we've been with Riverside for a year and a half now, maybe two, and it's been fantastic. And one of the features that we talk about, like amongst ourselves and not with Riverside, is getting transcripts. We've tried multiple transcription services, but and we don't want to pay for it extra, right? Like we don't want to go somewhere else. This means it's all built in. We'll export the transcripts and we'll use them for content, and we'll repurpose everything. So this will make everything easier, even for social and sort of like, the written content. It'll make it all much more streamlined for that too.
That's great to hear.
Congrats, guys. Nicely
Thank you
done.
so much. I would love to learn what you think of the accuracy of the transcriptions, because I think that's also really something we've worked a lot on, and we're very curious to get feedback on that. How accurate are the transcriptions? Supposedly, we believe they're if the most accurate, if not the most accurate transcription out there. So would love to get feedback on that as well. And super happy to have you on board and let us know if any improvements we need to make. Cool. Thank
We
you so
will
much.
test the accuracy. We will test the accuracy by getting drunk on some podcasts, by like slurring as much as possible. We'll make it hard, and we'll get
Make it
back to you.
hard. Make it hard. Cool. Thanks so much. Okay, Steven, I think we have another guest.
Hello,
Business
guys. How you doing?
business
Yes, coming
podcast.
in.
You may leave. Hey
Thank you for
Neil.
having me.
Thank you. Hey Neil, how are you?
I'm very well, and good to see you guys all again. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Cool. So maybe you can share a bit more about your podcast, what you do, how you use Riverside.
100%. So my name's Neil. I'm a founder at a company called HappySelling.io. I have a podcast called the SDR Disco Call Podcast. It's a podcast for junior or new SDRs or tech sales reps, helping them learn about the world of startups and SaaS and how to navigate their sales career. And I've been on Riverside since it first launched, and I've been loving it ever since.
Cool. So what do you like most about Riverside?
What do I love about Riverside compared to other platforms that I've used in the past? It's the quality of the audio. I'm a stickler for great audio, and equally, I love great visuals and video. So the ability to record up to 4K and use my 4K Logitech webcam has been a godsend for me as well. What I also love is being able to use it to record shows and screen sharing as well, because a lot of our guests are on LinkedIn. So we visit a lot of LinkedIn profiles, we visit websites, etc. And being able to share my screen and have high quality recordings of that, and then putting that into post production, helps me create a lovely movie for the video version of our show. But what's really helped me in the last few months is the ability to choose the different formats and snippets from my show to help create socials on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and most recently on TikTok as well. What I also love, and from what I've seen on the product launch, is the transcript piece where you're able to edit pieces of video, because historically I would have to go watch, figure out where the markers are, figure out where I'm going to chop and change. But with this new feature, it's a game changer for me, so I'm super excited.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And do you already transcribe your current podcast, or currently you just only use it for the clips, or like are you already transcribing your podcast or not really?
Yeah, so historically, we used to use a different transcription service, which I won't mention today, but that was placed into that service. It would give us, maybe a 60 to 70% accuracy, and that would help create show notes, blogs, newsletters, etc., and help with the summary of, what the show has said and key highlights and points. But today, with this new transcription service, I can see the accuracy is much better because I've tested it out using Riverside. And what I'm tending to do with that as well is putting it into AI tools to help me create great summaries, etc., and help me create those snippets. Because I used to have a team behind me, but now I'm doing this solo. This is going to save me a lot of time.
Cool. That's awesome. You can stay on, Neil, but we have a question from the audience, which is also relevant. What about the accuracy in other languages than English? Is it similar? Yes, it's. I think English is going to be the most accurate language, but although the other languages are also considered very very accurate, and let us know if you agree about that as well. I missed the first part of this. So Riverside is going to have transcriptions. Yeah, we started off a bit later. We exceeded the amount of maximum listeners on Riverside, so we are live streaming now from Riverside to YouTube, still using Riverside. But basically, what we're launching today is the one place to record, edit, and share your conversations. And what did we add? First of all, we increased a lot of stability and improvements around the speed of Riverside, the stability and syncing between files on Riverside. So that's the number one launch we are making today. Number two is we're launching a whole new way to edit your videos. We're launching text-based editing. People can now use our text-based editing to edit their videos. Normally, people are very used to using a timeline. By using a text-based editing, you can use the same ways you're very used to when you're editing normally text. You can use that same mechanism to edit your video. Super simple, super powerful. That's what Riverside stands for. And all while the and that while the accuracy is unmatched accurate. So that's basically what we're launching today in a nutshell. You can search through the transcripts. You can you can edit the you can take out the transcript, edit the video, and those are some of the early on features that we have launched on top of the transcriptions. Next question, Oren Cohen. I have a huge backlog of Riverside recordings. Does the transcription feature backwards compatible? Yes, it should, or it does. Basically, your old recordings are now also available to use with our text-based editing. What's the best way to edit the empty space on videos? Will the editor tell you when there's no sound? Yes, super cool and super powerful. In the transcripts, you can also see when there is silence, and you can take out that silence very easily. You can also, of course, use the traditional timeline where you see when there's no audio in the timeline. And we also improved, by the way, the timeline. So now you have a real audio waveform where you can edit with using the waveform, basically. Another question. I think I saw they do have transcriptions in other languages. Yes, we have 100 languages now. Is this new launch changing anything for live recordings, or is it only covering for post-production? This launch is two things. It's one, it's an increase in stability and reliability, and two, it's the text-based editing. So basically closing the loop from record editing to sharing. That's what we're launching today. Will the transcription show up on the video itself, like captions? Stay tuned. Can't share more on that, but stay tuned. Cool. Let's see. Do we have someone in the audience that wants to join? Okay, let's see. We have more questions for before we get to the next part.
What tiers
Another
is the
good
feature available for,
Yeah, that's a great question. So basically, that's like we started saying, we really want to empower anyone to create video. And this new paradigm of editing, we want to introduce to everyone. So everyone doesn't matter what plan, is now going to have text-based editing. So that's something we really thought that's important. If you want to copy the transcript and actually export the transcript, you need to upgrade to Pro. But everyone can edit the video using the transcript.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So it's really great to see that Riverside is, adopting AI to help with the editing and with the text and, being able to extrapolate that data to help us with post-production. You don't have to give me a definitive answer right now, but are there any other plans for taking AI further with Riverside? Are there any things in the roadmap or in the future that you could see happening?
Definitely. We are working on a lot of things in parallel, but for now, the AI thing that we've really we're launching today is the transcriptions, and that might it's maybe not as flashy, but it's really we really think of from a user perspective what's really useful now. And basically, I hear a bit of echo. I think can you mute yourself? I think you have the YouTube stream open. Basically, right now we really combined all efforts to introduce this AI in transcriptions. That's what we're launching today. But definitely, there's a whole world out there with all new possibilities leveraging AI. Some people are asking what languages is the transcription supporting. Basically, we support almost every possible language you can imagine: English, French, Hebrew, Dutch. So even my strong accent can be transcribed. Or my strong Dutch accent. So really almost all of the languages you can imagine, we support. Cool. Any other questions? Let me see. Now we're live streaming. So people are asking like, why do I sometimes see you guys grainy? It's because now we're live streaming, that's still dependent on internet. But where the magic comes in is if we're going to look at the recording of Riverside, that will look and sound as if it was recorded offline. And you won't see any of the grayness that you're seeing during the live stream. You're going to see a recording that looks flawless and totally in great quality. Okay, let me see if we have more questions. If you do multicam, does the text-based editing work on both clips? Gideon? That's a question.
If you do multicam,
Yeah.
one more time. What was the question?
If you do multicam, they have transcript of both, basically both angles.
Well, do we have transcripts from the angle that you've like that has audio, right? With multicam, you're only using it as a video feed, so it won't have transcripts for that feed, but it will only have it for the transcripts of your actual camera or device that's recording the audio, or like your computer you have your microphone connected to. But those edits apply to your other camera. So actually, for you yourself, you won't notice the difference. And yes, you can edit both your phone multicam recording and your web recording with the same kind of transcript, just as easy as Stephen just showed.
So you can see in the transcript you can see the silence, and then you can use the timeline to remove that silence. And also, what I mentioned earlier is now we show much better audio, really representing audio wave in the timeline, so you can also easily detect those silences.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see what else questions. Abo, have any more questions? Cool. I think that's it for today, unless we have our special guest here. Let me check if he's gonna join. Wait, are you currently editing the recording you're currently in right now? That's a question we have. Stephen.
Oh, no, that was a previous recording. That was the three of us recording earlier today. And so, I mean, the transcript editing is available really just a couple minutes after you finish upload all the files. And so it turns around pretty quick. But that was from, 20 minutes before we started the live feed. And so it happened pretty quick.
Right. Cool. I think that's it for today. Today we launched two big things. First, we improved the stability and reliability of Riverside a lot. We improved our whole syncing mechanism. And second of all, we improved the whole speed of Riverside. And last but not least, text-based editing. Now, after you're done recording, you can easily edit your videos using text. You can search your recording. You can download the transcript, available in 100 different languages, top-notch accuracy. And we're super pumped about this. This is just the beginning. We're really building with the community in mind. So if you have any questions, feedback, let us know. We are always listening to you guys and girls, and we would love to get that feedback, basically. Thanks so much for tuning in. Sorry for the delay in the beginning, but we're pumped for this update. Thank you. Bye-bye.